team, and ever since then it's kind of been whatever. So fill me in, man. What's going on with IG?
That is a very accurate description of what's happened to IG. Well, no, it's kind of
Jack, what are you
symbolic
here for?
of how fast a team can rise and
IG.
how quickly things can change in just a short span of time. A patch that really suited them, I believe, was 7.04. They kind of just caught fire, and then after that and after Kiev, they just looked a little bit lost. Like some of the nerfs seemed to hit them and target a little bit, like that 4 position of what's happened to IG was changing. Well, no, it's kind of
Jack,
symbolic
what are you here
of how fast a team can rise and how quickly things can change in just a short span of time. A patch that really suited them, I believe, was 7.04. They kind of just caught fire, and then after that, mixed in some of the older strategies they had, like for example, XXS. They would go back to the Magnus or the Enigma and the offlane heroes that he played well, and then most recently they contemplated or they've been experimenting with a position change. It would have been Burning going to offlane and XSS moving to carry. And a lot of people were kind of really surprised about this. I mean, Burning has been kind of a signature carry player for so long, but he's a bit like Fear in the sense that like he has had experience playing different positions. He has a wide hero pool, and so they trust him doing that. So the latest on that was I asked the manager about that if that was going to stay that case. He said they're still unsure, and I think for this tournament, or at least mostly depending on heroes, they're still going to keep Burning at the 1 position, but they are going to have ROTK, I believe, coaching them through TI. So we'll see if that changes.
Interesting to know. I feel like offlane's the hardest role to switch to. Like we've seen like Burning play support, and I'd say quite well. Like mid and carry, there's at least some similarities. I think carries know how to play like a decent support because hey, that support's there. Same for mids, like the 4 positions often in their lane. We've seen mids like Jabs recently swapped before, but there have been very few successful players who transitioned to offlane outside of like S4 and Pasha for VP was the other one who used to be a carry player who swapped to offlane. Other than that, I don't think there's many examples, but
I guess KP kind of transitioned.
It's actually very good. Yeah, he was kind of before those two actually. If you go further back,
right? But yeah, it is difficult. Like you're playing against 3 people most of the time. Like S4 mentioned this when we asked him in interviews. He's like, yeah, like I wouldn't be able to tell if I was like winning my lane or doing well or not because it's just totally different how much I'm supposed to get out of my matchups, and that's like a pretty big adjustment already.
So you're saying that is there a chance that we might see the role swap up happen at this event for IG, like IG playing in that offlane?
At this event, unlikely, but it's possible depending on heroes, and there is a possibility that we'll see it at TI. So that would be a real shakeup for sure.
Well, according to the draft, right above Parker's head, apparently we have IG picking up the Kunkka and the Shadow Shaman, while LGD Forever Young got the Earth Spirit and Crystal Maiden, our first blonde Crystal Maiden of the day.
This is the first Elder Titan that I've seen picked so far. They used this at what was it, Epicenter, I believe, in the offlane role. It's kind of different because usually the way it's played, like you'll have like the Yule's Aether Lens, and he's kind of like this caster and kind of helping to combo. But in the case that they built him, I think it was Treads, or even the way Isis played him, it's more of like a right-clicking offlaner. So you guys have seen
super tanky too.
Right. Yeah. You guys have seen where like he drags the spirit through all the creeps, or you can stack as well with it, and then like you come back around to lane, and suddenly anybody you punch, you're hitting for like 300 something damage. And he actually went toe to toe, I believe, with an anti-mage, in the offlane against I think Inflame at Epicenter. So that's something to keep an eye on here.
So yeah, Bristleback pick up next for LFY. See where they looked ahead with their draft. This is the makings of the dreaded bog.
Yeah, I feel for IG because that meta where they were looking like really good was the meta I miss. We were talking about a bit between games, Magnus and all that stuff.
You're gonna peak
Monkey
at the
King,
right time.
yeah, Monkey King was he was a problem, but it was kind of entertaining too. Now we
Funny
get
how
Bristleback.
Nowadays the patches come so frequently. Like if that had happened in the past, like who knows what would have happened? Like TI3 Alliance, like those heroes like Wisp, Nature's Prophet, Lone Druid did not get nerfed for a long time.
Some of those heroes are still getting nerfed and are still relevant, like Batrider. Batrider, for example, was still first pick during TI3, and they nerf him. They nerf him and nerf him and nerf him and nerf him and nerf him.
That hero used to be amazing. His Flame Break did get buffed, though. That's about a lot of extra damage.
And then they're like, whoa, we went a little too far. Let's run it back a bit.
After getting nerfed, it got buffed, that is.
IG tried Magnus Troll earlier. I think they lost the game in this tournament.
That's such a shame.
So
I did see the first IG game where they probably got that win. I did see it was a huge performance from XXS on the Earthshaker, I think. He had some sick setups that game.
Yeah, he's good on that hero.
So Sven comes out, guys, not a CK for once. We'll actually get to see his brother Sven swing it out instead.
There's the immediate Bloodseeker counterpick, though. This hero makes Sven's life pretty difficult. A Ruptured Sven is a unhappy Sven. It's a Sven that can't really move too well in a team fight.
The bug. The bug begins. This one's not as boggy as what we've seen.
What's Super's hero? Super doesn't play Bloodseeker,
he
right?
plays Bristle. He can play Bristle mid.
Could be a Bristle mid. Could
DK's
be,
gone. That Death Prophet is also gone.
Still a Viper in there.
Still a Viper out there for Super. Razor's the other one.
There. There's still a Venomancer. I mean,
those are all the worst.
Jack, I'm hyped. This is gonna be great.
This
I can't wait
is the worst.
Hey, Serpent Wards are great against Shadow Shaman Wards.
That just sounds like such a fun game of Dota. Super's hero pool is just that's
Viper Strike is quite good against these melee cores against Sven. He just stops moving for a little bit and
you just watch him not move, watch him struggle. That's great. Look at him struggle around there. Oh, he's not getting hurt. He's just struggling. It's getting delirious this weekend. Last game.
The 7:30 a.m. last game.
This is the late English coverage shift here, folks, as the European audience wakes up and says, who the hell are these guys? Final bans come out. Puck going to get removed from IG's side here, LGD. Well, you're looking at IG's lineup right now, and you're thinking, what is that magical piece they're missing here? It's the mid laners. Who's got first dibs? LGD do. You got to get a. Really says that you probably want to get a Viper then, because you got to get a mid laner who's going to win. Oh, they go Ember.
Super playing
It's a flashy hero.
like the synergy with the Bloodseeker.
He's a good Ember though. I've seen him play this a bit, and this is the one here I've seen him do some flashy stuff from time to time.
I welcome flashy super stuff.
Yeah.
I hope we get to see it.
You know, Jack, I'm gonna call it. This is not a boggy lineup. They got Bloodseeker Emperor. They're gonna be running at people.
Yeah.
Is this
even the
this isn't boggy?
Blood Rage Sleight of Fist? Blood Rage Sleight of Fist is pretty
That's
fun.
true. This is not. I agree. This is not
draft.
a bog lineup. This is not a bog lineup.
This is a gob lineup. No. All right, now you're really going against the Ember Spirit. Do you just OP play Invoker?
It's not much of an Invoker.
Oh, Shadow Fiend. That's kind of fun.
Okay. See how old Shadow Friend does.
He could be a Silver Edge candidate. Helps against the Bristleback a bit. Or if he goes the Hurricane Pike build up, I guess.
Just a ranged DPS to go with the Sven, because you're against 3 melees, so you want to kind of kite them around a bit and just play the mobility game. Fight from a distance, so yeah.
Well, gentlemen, analysts, what are our predictions based on this draft? Who is going to be walking away with the win?
I like LFY. I like LFY's as a draft here. I think it's going to be very difficult to fight them. They have some very easy natural synergy and combo potential, and I think IG are going to have to take very pinpoint fights. I don't see IG coming out too well necessarily in the roaming phase either. I mean, Punk is pretty active, but I don't think they should be able to kill the Ember Spirit unless he, is very out of position or makes mistakes. So I like LFY's draft. How about you guys?
I like them both. I think IG's got some strong lanes. They've also got, the Sven's bad against Bloodseeker, but good against the Bristle. I think it comes down to how good of a early game the Shadow Fiend has. If he gets ganked a few times, they're in trouble, but I'll back IG. I believe in burning.
All right. Well, there you have it. Let's see. More importantly, who's going to win the tower battle first?
Well, it's going to be close.
It is kind of close. Both of these teams have a lot of money to spend on Gaben, but the big winner is going to be IG. They just have that little bit of extra money. A little bit of extra.
I think those points
hats.
look very proportional to the players' roles in the team as well.
Okay.
Momoka's clearly carrying IG up there. So.
Yep.
LFY only had they had 2 very high-level ones, and then the other 3 were letting down the team.
Yeah, everybody else was slacking. It was just Monet and Inflame.
Yeah.
Or should we say the Groper and Inflame?
The Groper is back.
I mean, Inflame's got
Oh wait, no, sorry. Inflame is the Groper.
He wasn't the Groper, was
I thought
he?
someone else was.
Oh, what's that mean, Jack? What's that mean? That's not chat wheel. That was all chat too.
So Inflame says, who was he talking to? He's saying, I think he's saying Q, like, don't you don't play Kunkka, right? And then Q's like, I don't want to play it. So there you have it. LFY has already broken the spirits of IG.
Hell
Q
yeah.
does not want to play the Kunkka.
He never plays Kunkka. It's Baboka's hero. It's that like every team has their 4-position play Kunkka. I don't know. If that breaks you, then IG truly are a broken team.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going on.
Let's go, baby. Smokes
Bernie's
is a
ready to
3-man running right into action. The Smokes already popped. Someone's got to be around the corner. Who is it? It's going to be Monet. He's the Groper. They're moving in. The stun, the Torrent. They need a bit more. They're going to be able to get it. Q could be the first blood instead, and he is. They will still be able to get the Bloodseeker down, but it's the Bloodseeker who gets the first blood bonus.
Afu with like a double damage there. The 3-man spirit. Beautiful.
And one of the best level 1 fighters you could ask for, really.
Yeah.
And IG will walk away from that one and into an aggro lane with their Sven. Throwing their Batrider down to the bottom in a one-on-one matchup against the Bristleback, which, he will be very happy about. And already the intention moving over, Afu is going to be heading that direction. So we'll have a try-on-try bit of action.
It's like a dream for ET. 3 heroes to hit with your Astral. Unfortunately, there's no neutrals to hit. That's the main concern. You also need to be careful. He tries to run at them with his damage. He may also just get bursted down.
You remember, Jack, I'm Parker, you would know as well, Dota 1 when Elder Titan used to be a high skill cap hero. You run away from your... It was just reverse. It was mirrored. So you had to run perfectly backwards. And do you not remember that, Jack? You didn't play that?
I never played Elder Titan in Dota 1. That sounds absolutely horrible.
That is how you controlled your spirit. It was just the opposite of what you were doing. Okay, they're making a move for burning. The legend lives on, though.
It was so janky. I couldn't stand it.
Yeah.
With that said, when they first had the hero, even though it worked that way, it was so OP. It did so much damage. You'd throw the spirit and just not move, and then you'd do like a 500 damage combo with the Astral Stomp.
Yep. Okay, Afu is hanging with his easy mode stomp from the low ground. Puts it into action, and they followed up with a bit of a frostbite here. It's LFY who were putting out the punches first, putting the pressure onto IG, who were the team rolling in with this aggro lane. And they're the team getting aggroed on.
Kind of being the aggressors, but at the same time, this ET is not finding his levels, and they're not finding any additional kills. It's IG who actually getting the slight advantage in CS in the lanes.
He does get a bounty rune, but it doesn't get him close to level 2 on the Elder Titan yet.
Oh, this Bristle bottom's getting wrecked. He doesn't have a magic stick, and that's because he hasn't been able to get to the side shop. That's a huge issue when you're versing a bat and you can't find
top
a
lane,
stick.
Monet's in trouble.
No.
Forced to drop down the blood right. He's going to try to juke within the trees, but it's Baboka able to catch him with the sword right there at the end, but has it cost him his own life? No, it has not. He's been able to make it back in a way, and he will pop his salve, and IG will get the kill.
Bottom lane, Bat's looking for a solo kill.
He's torching up the piggy, trying to roast him, but Monet back from the dead. TP's into the bottom lane to help his brethren.
It's kind of the lane's falling apart. You don't really... I guess they wanted the Bloodseeker to go bottom just to take this easier lane, but I don't think Bloodseeker's going to have a great time here. I actually Bat's out of mana. He'll be fine.
The 2 support rotation here from LFY down to the mid lane. DDC just casually strolls up, and Afu as well will just kind of show themselves. They're ditching onto that aggro action, but the Frostbite Stomp combo is there.
Nice torrent.
OP, though, turns around with the raises onto Super. And he's going to be the one that goes down. OP picks that one up.
Oh, regen route 2.
What a great torrent from Bo1, disrupting that Ember Spear right before he could go onto the Shadow Fiend. Expected this kind of rotation to come a little bit earlier, given Shadow Fiend's vulnerability, but with that Bloodseeker death top and having to rotate, it took a while. They kept the supports in lane, and couldn't really help, and that's going to give Shadow Fiend a fairly clean start here in the mid lane against Ember.
Monet on that Bloodseeker starting to interrupt check. He's already back in the fountain. He's level 2. That's not where you want to be as a carry. This is not a support. This is
he's having a early game identity crisis right now, where he needs to go and farm, and it looks like he's found a home for now in the bottom lane with DDC as a babysitter.
Maybe his best home is in the jungle.
Oh goodness!
Every pub player's dream.
And then I'm gonna get
another pub player's nightmare.
I'm gonna get a Dagon first too.
If you're the Bloodseeker, it's your dream.
Yeah.
None of that difficult laning stuff, but.
How's our mid lane faring? OP is ahead in CS. Super did just go down recently as well, and Bo1 is thinking about moving in with the Torrent. Couldn't quite get a catch on that one, but still posing as a threat as much as possible.
OP's owning. I mean, we saw him play Shadow Fiend constantly at Epicenter, so he's very comfortable in this hero. Definitely a go-to.
I'm just gonna preserve my judgment on Super's Ember Spirit till later. Maybe he just needs the items before the flashy super plays will come in. But looks like we have movement. LFY rotated to the support staff down to the bottom lane. They're looking to get a grab onto the Bat Rider. Can they get XXS? He's turning back to look to go for Monet, but they eventually get the best of him. Bo1 though sweeps into action and is able to get the finish onto Monet, making it a worthy trade to get rid of the core. And runs out the other side.
Smoke down bottom, considering you still got the 1-for-1 trade, is okay for IG. Just dominating this laning stage right now. Bat's having a good time. I mean, every core is having a good time. Other than, I mean, the Svenzo having just an okay time because he's in the off lane. He's not getting his stacks. He's not getting his free farm, but he's getting enough farm.
Bat's having a real good time, actually. And they recognize that on LFY side. They're trying to bring the extra pressure. There's DDC. Steps in, Frostbite, but, you know, can't really offer a lot after that. Just a simple 1-1-1 build-up for now on this Crystal Maiden. Ooh, top lane. Lots of real low lives here. Bristleback seeming to get some decent stackage. Running down the Burning Man. Oh, they have to pop the wand. They're turning around. Oh, they might have just baited the boy. Oh, but the quill does come off the end. They all end up dying. I unfortunately missed a lot of the action, but suddenly they just fall over dead suddenly. We didn't see any of the quills, but I figured that's what did him in. Bottom lane, a jump for the bat. 3-man ambush right through the lane. And they will finally get that pesky Bat Rider down. 5-5. We got an even game now as far as kills go.
It's a good play from Inflame's Bristle. Like, he's chasing them with quills, and as the shaman turns to shackle him, he makes sure to turn his back. If he doesn't turn his back with the shackles, he dies without those kills.
All right, they get the Q Shadow Shaman down now. LFY really opening something up in this bottom lane.
Yeah, it's going well for them in these side lanes all of a sudden. This is freeing up the SF. He's not getting contested at all in his lane, which is, I guess, the good news there for IG. The more fighting in bottom and top, the less ganks going SF's way, but there is one going his way now as things quieten down.
Yeah, the supports are starting to get levels. They're starting to get skills and abilities, and they want to cast them. And here they come, right in through the mid lane, looking to go for the biggest threat there. OP trying to get off the ulti. Can he do it? No, it's a death requiem, and it is going to be a successful gank from LFY. They're on like a what feels like 4 or 5-0 tear.
Yep. Killing the important heroes too. The Sven at top, the SF at mid, getting kills at bottom lane where they're kind of grouping up a lot of the heroes.
Maybe opening up some opportunities for their cores to be able to get back into relevance too, as we see the Bloodseeker working his way back through that bottom lane now. He's level 5. Still needs a bit of time before that ult's back online, and has a way to go to kind of get himself to where he should be. But there is still so much potential for these supports to set up. They're hiding within those trees, and you can see XXS keeps, you know, throwing some stickies in there just to kind of continue to keep tabs on what's going on.
A very interesting Kunkka build. Seeing a more right-click
Yeah, the two
oriented build.
Tideringer.
Normally you see like Max X with Arcane Boots and play as an initiator. He's not going an initiator route.
Is it Blades of Attack? He's going phase. Okay.
Let's do some damage, I guess. Is this the normal Baboka Kunkka, Jack? You digging this?
I think, well, usually like they'll go Glimmer Cape, right? But I think Kunkkas recently have been going a little bit more towards getting some damage as well.
Well, that used to be like the armlet. Remember? Like Lanham, I believe? We used to get the armlet on Kunkka. Fall back on some damage.
Right. Yeah, you still see like 404 pretty frequently, but some are going a bit the other way. I think like they're a little bit light on damage until the cores have some items or come online. So it does make some sense. And of course it improves his own farm and progression naturally if he's able to go in that direction. Clear out a wave or two.
He just found that stack. I think that was Bristle's stack. OP's looking to make it his. Tries to sidestep the stomp, but can't quite make it out. Now he's locked in his spot, tries to go for the TP, and can't make it out.
That's
nice punish.
The most farmed tier in the game. That's not what you want to see. If you're IG, he's died now kind of a couple times in a row. He's still farming well, but those deaths add up. Slow down his farm, accelerate LFYs. Mid lane. An Ember.
Right behind the tower, Baboka trying to hide within the trees. Gets the Remnant forward, tries to jump to it. Will be able to get it. Super. There it is. Going in under the tower with some assistance from DDC. Gets a successful pickoff.
Some pizzazz.
A little bit. Yeah, it's a little bit of pash. But I don't know. Nothing yet to brag about.
That's true. Still recovering, but yeah, it's a tough lane, and he's getting the kills now. This is kind of Ember things. You don't necessarily win your lane, but you get your levels, then you find kills, and he's done that so far. 2 kills, 1 death. And almost level 10 already. So definitely not bad.
And boots of trouble. Yeah, okay. First into that. We'll get underway. Burning now to the mid lane here for his Sven. I don't know if there's just limited farm options, but it seems like that's the best spot for the Sven right now. And I don't know if it was already acknowledged, but he does have the mask. He has the benefit of Warcry, so, you know, you get that inherited armor to make up for it.
It looks like they might be using this torrent to try to do some ancient stacks, Jack. The old trick you
bottom
were
lane
talking
Q's
about.
dead. Yep.
Thanks.
Good ult setup there by Afu. Just gets the solo pick off on the support.
Yeah, if you torrent at basically as soon as you see the clock striking 57, you can stack it and you can do it up to like basically endlessly for most intents and purposes. Like you could stack this thing like 10 or 11 times.
Until I guess the entire camp doesn't fit in the torrent.
Yeah, and then I mean then you'd need more to keep stacking it, but realistically, who's clearing an 11 stack?
What Sven wants to see. With that said, he's only got the 1 point in Warcry, so he's maybe not suited for it just yet. Things have started to swing LFY's way after a shaky laning stage, though.
All right, but we have a Blink Dagger now on XXS. Could be what helps IG get back in this. He's been hiding it out within the trees in the top lane for now, but maybe he can find his way to the bottom lane. It looks like they're TPing there now. Here comes the ship. Baboka has been spotted behind the tower as they tried to make their approach. That is when IG look to strike. They get the takedown of the Bloodseeker, and the rest of LFY have to get the hell out. So there you go. And then guess what? Everyone else from IG is here. So let's just all hang out here in the bottom lane and maybe push.
Couldn't catch any more because of the rupture on the bat, but say could consider a push here. Although
or not. You go that way, you go this way. I'll farm that, you do that.
Scatter tactics. The SF still wants to farm. He wants some alone time. Get his level 12. Get his Shadow Blade up. But
all right,
yeah,
everybody except Xiaofeng. You go do whatever. But we all stay in lane and kind of push. That sounds good. All right, we got an opportunity here. They moved in for the Elo Titan. They got a lasso, and oh God, he's living. There, they got him with the stun and the finish. And they can move in to go. But hey, mid lane. Oh God, our Shadow Fiend. Yeah, mid lane, he got jumped as well. LFY will get the trade, a more favorable trade at that, and then also turn it into a +1 push.
If you're so Bristle farm and top while this is going on, he gets a tower as well.
Oh.
This is...
LFY just one-upped IG there for sure.
Oh yeah. Afu is just a support dying at bottom lane. He tanks a gank. Batrider lasso, he's happy with that in terms of the big picture.
So break a smoke, tank a gank. Just get in the way. In the way so that the big brothers, as they call them in Chinese, can farm.
It's a big brother.
He is the little younger brother who's just recently joined this team. He's got to obey the orders from Super, I imagine.
A little Afu. It's probably going through a hazing still. I'm sure the LFY hazing is pretty terrible. Probably like 3 swirlies a day.
It's the LGD people who got to give them the swirlies?
Yeah, LGD people just dunking them in there. Ruru or whoever, I'm sure. I'm sorry, I messed the name up. But hey, here we go, LFY. Some stackage happening here. Bristleback is going to be very satisfied with that as he goes more through his defensive utility pickup. He's already got the Vanguard, of course, but you know, that hood would just make this all the sweeter. A smoke play from IG. It's time to go on the prowl.
They're feeling some pressure thrown their way, not really getting a whole lot done. They need this kill.
Can they get it though? But Boca, you got the X. We got Batrider with the Blink Lasso. Someone's got to do it. Oh, and Remnant, he's gone. Super. Not a lot of pizzazz, but he's a safe boy.
And Bristle's already back, pushing a lane by himself, doing just annoying Bristle things.
This is really tearing IG apart. It feels like they kind of are trying to move as a unit here, but LFY are forcing them to make these kind of decisions, and then they're kind of stuck outnumbered, and that is exactly when LFY know to strike, like this time in the mid lane for OP. He's alone, so they jump in, and they slaughter him.
They were ready. They had the sentry. He just Shadow Blades in. That's the overconfidence from a fresh Shadow Blade pickup, thinking you can just walk in and set up an ulti. They may defend top 2 now.
See, wards have been committed, and Burning is also committed his God Strength. Yeah, double ults for the tower. Still feels like a lot for IG, but okay. This is nice. Grab, pull onto the Bristle. They bump him back. They get the stun, and that should do it. Super though, dancing around with him a bit. Thinking about chasing here. DDC is on the river. Run path here, trying to get the catch on for Burning. They hit him with a Nova. All right, and they've got him with a Frost Blast. That should do it. Sven is going to get killed, and then a couple of TPs out. Narrow escape from IG. LFY. Very brash on their approach, but very profitable too.
Yep. They got multiple towers and multiple carry kills. They got the tower bottom with Bloodseeker, the tower mid with the SF kill, and then they rotate top and kill a Sven. So to get that, they lose the Bristle and the top tier 1. Very favorable across the board. Bloodseeker has needed some catch-up alone time, and that's exactly what he just got in this bottom lane.
And he's going to be going right for the Ags. You like that, Jack?
I think so.
Blade Mail and then Ags. 2 ruptures. Better than 1.
It's kind of a rock and a hard place when you get rupture against a team, right? On the one hand, you don't really want to be standing there. It's all the things that can be dumped onto you or with the Bristleback. And of course, you know, rupture, if you're getting kited as Sven, if you're being forced to move around, it's very annoying, and I think it's the right build here. You don't want to build anything too greedy because you have Bristle, who's going to clear some Ancients and get some farm, usually from the jungle, and then you have the Ember Spirit, who's going to take up some resources in lane as well. So I think it's a nice pick here.
Rock secured. Some of the side effects of the recent patch nerf on Bat is that long 100-second cooldown lasso. Did not have it back up, only now just got it up. Oof. Things away.
I'll fly on the hard chase here, but not going to get the catch. Super looks like a Blink Dagger next. You know, Ember Spirit just bots and Blink. Oh, here we go. Burning. There the Yules with the stomp at the freezing field. He's been silenced. And he's not going anywhere, it looks like. Oh, he does manage to get off a nice stun. Cleaves his way right on through. And does help them secure at least 2 kills in response to the 2 they lost. And Batrider will also be able to make it away. LFY just taking it to IG.
Just feels like IG need a few too many items right now before they can fight. Like, SF's not ready. This SF plus Sven duo is just kind of greedy. They take a lot of items to come online.
Yeah.
SF needs BKB, Sven needs Blink Dagger, and until those items come up, I feel like IG are going to be at a big disadvantage.
And I wonder if we're going to be seeing Q start split pressuring with these wards, you think? I mean, it's always good to see them kind of put these to use whenever they're off cooldown, whether it be getting the team together to try to make a push happen with them, or Roche, or just him in a side lane by himself and trying to force LFY to kind of step off from whatever they're doing. I'm not sure how Q wants to kind of take this Shadow Shaman, but he's queued up a Blink Dagger, so maybe he might just not do any of that and just roll with the team and be there to make jumps. Okay, here comes LFY. Again, just taking it to IG, just already corralling them like sheep inside their own little fort.
Yeah, look at the gates of the sheep pen, the dire vision that's been set up on their side of the map. You see this quite frequently, and this is one of those, again, something that's worrisome about being Radiant and picking Sven, right? Because you don't have like those 2 triangular areas that Dire has.
Oh,
see if I start
yeah, lasso pullback onto your Bloodseeker, hit with the Torrent. All right, they get that one first. It costs them a lot. The rest of LFY will be able to make it away from the grab of IG. They walk out with the tier 2 though, at the cost of their Bloodseeker.
Still decent kill and pick up to grab, but we'll see how much IG can follow it up with. They're not taking objectives. They can't even leave their base now with those ultis used, so they're going to just try and free up some space to get the next couple of items, but already LFY looking for that next outer tower and bottom lane. And
yeah,
likely no resistance this time.
It's rough, and while they're here in the jungle, if they can just kind of safely farm it or farm it together, and they can avoid showing on the map and show only the Ember Spirit, and then, you know, you've got to make a tough choice. If you go there and his friends are there, obviously, might get turned around, might give up kills. If you ignore him, he takes your tower at some point. So it's a tough spot to play from if you're IG. Like, you're both blind and you're really not sure where the next attack is going to come from.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, LFY know exactly where they are. They have that triangular vision that IG just happened to stroll through, so they were able to make this pincer move attack. They already quickly take out Q, and look who they found next, Burning, just around the corner, also going to be easily dealt with here from LFY. Both those kills going to DDC, it looks like.
That's a worrisome death. Burning needs so many items before he can fight. I mentioned the Blink, but yeah, it's also this BKB which he's started building. He needs both those items before he can well and truly team fight, and well, he's not going to get time to farm him because Bristleback is knocking at your door.
Yes, he is. He's got a Solar Crest already. He just picked that up, and he already has 1,500 gold on top of it. This is like a monster of a LFY lineup. This is where the kind of bogness is in the lineup, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, Bristle is a bog of his own, I guess, you know. It doesn't matter what other heroes you have, there's a Bristle.
The bog doesn't necessarily have to be slow. The bog is kind of a state of mind. When you're against this like sort of death ball and like you're just not moving, or you just, you know.
Oh, they popped the bog. Bog's coming back. Bristle Bog hit up. They got him with the wards. They're trying to lock him in his spot right there, and well, they got it. All right, looks like a hard commitment and hold from IG on this front will save their tier 3.
State of mind.
It's a feeling. It's I've seen so many bog combos, like whether it's like Death Prophet plus AA from this team. There's just there's always like the Death Ball core that they have, and then there's just people that just you're just not playing Dota anymore. That's the bog. That's the bogness part of it.
I mean, Super's build is like, the Blink Dagger is kind of like, hey, let's initiate, and I'll have a kill threat so that our Death Ball is scarier. So.
Yeah, or the straight Blade Mail Agonyms. It's, you know, I'm going to be super tanky as part of this Death Ball. I'm going to rupture you if I see you. You can't run away, you can't stand there, you're just bogged down, and that's how it goes.
It's just so basic with Super all the time. It's just so funny. No flashiness at all. But, you know, he gets the job done, gets me the W.
Oh, no flashy
okay,
Dakota.
well,
yeah, okay.
You know.
Right?
Super would like
As
a
he
word.
says it.
Yeah, I just had to give him a little bit of a, you know, encouragement to do something like that. That was slick.
He's 5-0 since that early game death.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not denying, like, he's playing a great game. Just, you know, dribble the ball between your legs before you shoot it sometimes, that's all. Here we go. Super and two friends smoked up, heading to the woods, and OP pops that smoke because he happened to use the Shadow Blade at that moment. Super's a bit confused at what's happening, decides to go for the wave instead, but here we go. Lasso's been sprung. They grab a hold of Super, and he dies. Oh no, he happily lived. He remnants out. The animation just tricked me, and he's going to be out, and he's going to be just fine. DDC, in the meanwhile, moves in, gets out the freezing field, and two from IG die. I feel like I'm missing a lot of sounds in the game.
That Ember just disappeared
Yeah.
from my plane of Dota. It wasn't like Slide of Fist, he bounced around. When he activates his Remnant, he like flies. He just disappears.
Yeah. I'm like, he dead. No, he's not dead. He lived over there.
He's
Sounds are
gone.
gone. Okay. Oh, he dead this time, maybe? He got hit by a stun. He's inside wards.
Okay.
Surely this time he's down. Okay.
Couldn't get his Remnant out. All right.
You can't video glitch your way out of that one, buddy. Sorry. All right. This game is getting quite ruthless now. 13-19. Only 2K up advantage for LFY at the moment. IG continuing to find these creative little pickoffs, saying that they have some life.
SF maintaining his farm is going to be this question of what can he do with it. He's at least got the BKB so he can get his spells off, but you stop BKB Requiem, Ember's going to run away. I mean, he's going to Remnant away. Bloodseeker's going to literally run away. Bristleback can just turn his back and not take too much damage. Not going to get the catch at top. Looks like IG have to maybe give up this top tier 2 or mount a defense. Next Roshan likely what LFY want.
I don't think they'll quibble too much over the T2, but there it is. You know, the kind of gathering, the gathering death ball is about to come to a town near you. They're going to back off a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't gather, though. They gathered and changed their mind. Now they're off all doing their own farm thing. I don't know if it was the one split pressure coming in from OP in that bottom lane to do it, but timing not matching up for LFY at the moment. So I guess not bog weather.
It's not the season yet.
Yeah,
you know?
it's not bog season. I have to wait for bog season to bog.
Bog season. Nice.
When the bristle bog is just right.
We have to. We got some new viewers, Jack. It's been a few games. We have to. What exactly is this bog?
I don't know what
we
the
keep
hell we're
referring
talking
to?
about
The
right
bog,
now.
the bog is a concept. You know, watching some LFI games, you go back and look at how this team has played sometimes, and then you just, when you play against this team, they just drag you through the thick quicksand of the bog. You just get these fights where you're just standing in place and just various slows, just different ways of holding you there. It's a death ball. It's a slow-moving death ball, and you know, once the bog comes to you, you're not escaping.
Oh, here we go. Jump in, Lasso. I don't think Super's escaping from this. No, he is not. Boat to fly out. Burning committing in. He gets a good hit with the stun. Chops his way right through the Crystal Maiden on the back end of his BKB. And now IG kind of step off a bit. The Bristle wants to move back in, but to turn around, they hit him with a Hex. They hit him with the wards. There's the Shackle. It is onto his back. OP pops the BKB, pops the Requiem. Bristle just disappears, so he's dead.
Yeah, that happened. Dang, that was such a big pick. Getting Super at the start. He is close to his Lincolns, but doesn't have it.
Oh, hit with the raise? No, not hit with the raise. The raise went out, I think. And the Elder Titan makes it to the other side, but
he bought back.
Dished out the stomp and actually catched the Kunk on the other side. The slides continue to fly out from Super, who I guess that's who you're talking about, bought back. He's in the game again. Moving on forward, tries to get a hold of Maboka, can't quite, finds himself into a blood right, and Super's down again. It's a dieback for the man. Oh, and this could be disastrous for LFY. IG just kind of coaxing in the bog into some action.
Man, they're matching up all right. You know, you find the bog, you're slow moving, you can't really do anything. Well, they stand their ground. They say, you're in that quicksand, the more you move and the more you wiggle, the faster you sink. They just stand still. They don't let that rupture damage them down. And both Sven and Batrider both got ruptured at the start. There was a double rupture, but IG had the advantage. There was no Ember to clean up those heroes. They're ruptured. Bloodseeker does no damage to heroes that are ruptured unless they actually move. He relies on the Ember to actually DPS them.
They got the Bristle.
Oh boy. Kill after kill, and a Roshan as their prize.
My goodness.
Oh, SF's got the Silver Edge now for Bristle. This is some anti-bog mechanics coming into play.
And we got a game even now, 19-19, but it's IG taking the reins back again. Kunkka moving in, the boat's on out, and they're going to get the pop of the Shaman. The follow-up stun's there, and I don't know what the hell's happening in this game. Ults fly out 3 times at once, and
it's fitting. The state of the Perfect World servers with the LFY playstyle.
the new Elder Titan stomp animation makes me think it's like a Crystal Maiden Nova thing, so it's all icy and magical in a lot of these fights. Yeah,
Immortal.
The Immortal he has.
That's one of the Immortals I'm not a fan of, just because of how different it is.
Yeah, it's quite visually entertaining, but
it's okay. I guess it's one of those things where the hero isn't picked enough. Where if you saw it all the time, you'd probably just get used to it. But with how infrequently the hero is played, it's definitely catches you a bit off. Looks cool though.
Oh, is this a new pickup? Bristle having the Halberd complete.
Okay.
Okay. That is going to be obviously a problem for Sir Burning and even the Shadow Friend.
I think it's a great pickup. I think people were talking about this during the hub, but this might be the item of the patch. Extremely underused item in some cases, but obviously having that disarm, still last through activated magic immunity, and then just some natural dodge and not too harsh of a build-up. Just a very solid item overall, and we had wondered maybe why some carries or cores weren't getting it, and we had seen Sven a few times in the last few patches as well. Not Sven, sorry, but the Halberd.
Smoke up from IG. They know Roche is online, and they want to either secure it or set up a good fight around it. They also know this Ember is going to struggle to fight. He used most of his Lincoln's money on that buyback and then died again, so he is crippled as far as his farm goes. Uh-oh.
Here comes IG, almost ahead on Collision. Oh, they found the jump, can't quite get the grab onto Bristle. I don't think. Yeah, okay, they finally get a hold of him. They'll pull him right back in towards the Shadow Fiend and his Mighty Requiem, and that's going to be the end of the Bristle back here. Now moving in, the Hex right away, looking to lock in and quickly deal with Afu. The Freezing Field's out from DDC on that back end side. Burning to get caught in with that Frost Nova. It looks like the Shadow Fiend was blasted apart. They're looking to go in onto Burning now. Blood Rights hit the ground, and he'll get silenced up. LFY will be able to tear right through him, and it looks like they'll get the better end of this trade. 3 for 2 when the dust does settle.
I think if my pixel interpretation was correct, that was really big Earth Splitter and Stomp to set up. I think Elder Titan kind of won them that fight with his setup.
I'll be honest with you, I didn't even see what happened to the Shadow Fiend. He just was gone.
He got, Stomp, Earth Splitter. BKB very early, and his BKB is getting kind of short now, so he got destroyed. And that's LFY's Roche now because of that lost fight.
Yeah, I'll be honest with you, I'm not even sure where this game's going at the moment. This could be anyone's. As LFY just kind of taking it right back.
Yep, LFY now with Aegis Cheese have the edge for sure. Not a big edge, but...
Yeah, it's like, okay, well, pushing into late. Where's their damage at? Who's doing the damage? I don't know. I mean, long-winded fights are amazing for LFY. Multiple Sleight of Fist, multiple Quills, Blood Rights to fight in maybe, but I don't know, just pure right-click potential. Is that something to be...
Bottom lane, there's a setup here. He does have Lincolns.
Not anymore. They pop the Lincolns, they hit him with the Hex, they hit him with a lasso and a shackle. Oh my goodness. So much bondage. Gonna get Jack excited. I totally forgot what I was talking about before that, I'll be honest with you.
I was waiting for Jack to comment.
Jack's just totally out too. He's
like that.
He's
that's
like,
all.
bog. Bogging.
I heard something that I wasn't entirely sure if that's what I heard, and then I tried to relate it back to what had been happening, and I couldn't, so.
Did you say bug? All right. Burning makes quick work of a tier 1 in the bottom lane. IG as a team once again, trotting their way on forward as if they didn't just lose a recent fight and a Roshan opportunity.
And yeah, with Ember down, they're going to have to give up objective. This is like time with Aegis where you're meant to be the stronger team, but...
Oh, but I was asking about, is there any concern over the correlation between the damage and late game scaling capabilities of LFY? Who's really doing the right-click damage? Super is, Boots of Travel, Lincoln's, Blink. Where's the damage?
I think there is because of the Bloodseeker itemization, right? He's got more of a... I mean, he went for that Aghanims. He did not have a good start. He's going BKB next, so this isn't one of those like Sanjin Yasha, Radiance, even Butterfly Bloodseeker. He's kind of far away from that at this point. So there is a measure of concern there. If you look at the Bristol's itemization as well, sorry, talking about the Bloodseeker before. He kind of also has like defensive and utility.
Yeah, and Ember too. At the moment, because these guys Lincolns. It's not like Veil, Ember, where you have that early game peak of magical prowess, if you will, and or late game like crit Battle Furies. It looks like he's going to build into Maelstrom, which will help farm a bit, help push out the waves a bit faster. But I don't know. I guess I'm just a little concerned for LFY's deeps.
Yeah, I think ET is kind of looking to enable everyone to do some good damage with the aura, but
that is true.
It doesn't help Bloodseeker at all because he's all like pure damage. His right clicks, I guess, but he's not going to right click all too much. Helps out a bit with the Ember, but he definitely will need some additional late game damage output, it feels like. ET landing his ultimate is going to be crucial since that's a big chunk of damage.
His natural order plus that ult you were just talking about, Crystal Maiden ult that had seemed to always be going off in these fights. Yeah, when you factor all those in, it definitely helps out in the deeps department for IG.
DDC's a level 18 Crystal Maiden. He's happy. Happy CM. Just getting closer and closer to that. Well, I don't even know if he's going to go. We're not seeing much GPM talents. I feel like I always get so excited as a support player when I'm like a level or two away from that GPM talent. It's like, this is going to be so good. Get some sweet GPM. And
yeah, it's going to pay for all the wards easily,
Yeah.
I'm going to get to my Glimmer Cave or something that much sooner. And then, yeah, it just, a lot of times I don't get it.
It reinvigorates you. You go through a tough game buying wards, and like around this stage, you're like, man, I'm just keep dying in these fights. I'm not buying items because I keep buying wards, and then you suddenly hit this GPM. You're like, all right, game's feeling good again. You see that gold tick in the bottom right.
Yeah, AA. I think AA has the 60 gold per. It's like that's 1 ward per minute, young man. Ooh.
There we go.
Well, thank you.
Take that.
All right, smoke out from LFY. They had been kind of taking hold of that recent engagement, and oh, look who they found. It's Burning. Rupture, he's trying to find a spot to be able to BKB TP out, and he got it. Avoids the confrontation of LFY there.
Good. He waited. First bit will cancel the TP, right? Through BKB. Yeah. You have to wait for that. I feel like that's a mechanic I should know, but
that's where like a Basher or an Abyssal, like a more combat item on one of the LFI cores would have come in greatly handy. But that's hindsight. They've chosen this path, and they have to work with the tools that they have.
It's one of those things in a fight that you're not lacking that because Sven isn't gonna. You're gonna kite the Sven or keep him in place.
Oh.
But for ganking Sven, he just TPs away.
Bloodseeker's going 4 staff next. Where is the damage?
The 4 staff is the damage because on Rupture, the Rupture's heroes are standing still, so you gotta
force them
push
into
him around.
Damage. Okay.
I was actually thinking that, like, I feel like they did need some 4 staffs. They got a 4 staff coming on ET now. The CM's going. They're gonna have triple 4 staffs. This is some damage output.
Okay. One person's gonna get shoved right into hell. Yeah. That's what's happening.
I'm on board with this. It's the most cost-effective damage. Oh no, he didn't go rupture damage. Bloodseeker, what are you thinking, mate?
Oh,
Gets the all
right.
stats.
Okay.
I guess he's like, they're always standing still, so he didn't want to get it, but at the same time, you're building these 4 staffs. Where that rupture damage at?
And it looks like that Maelstrom's now done for Super. A little bit of something, a little bit of something.
Almost dead even on gold here. Indeed, quite the close game to finish up on.
It's funny, after the initial push of this Kunkka, when you're like, oh, he's getting phase, and he has a couple level in the Tidebringer, I figured he was going to keep going with, you know, some right-click damage Kunkka. And then he's like, you know, nope. After that, got to go mech and drums.
He got the damage talent, but he didn't stick it out.
Yeah, so, you know, the late game scaling potential of your Kunkka is not as relevant as you would think, but you know, still brings a lot to the team. Of course, he's like a Swiss Army knife of a hero. Really, has a little bit of everything to offer.
Crazy talents or anything coming out. Doesn't look like it. 25 soon on SF. He'll get some extra attack range, most likely. He's got an MKB now, so the break against the Bristle's nice and all, but he's still got the double evasion with Solar Crest and Halberd, so this is a much needed pickup. And something Burning's also getting. This Bristle's going to look a lot squishier against these MKPs.
Yeah, they have damage. They have lots of cool-looking right-clicking items that just make IG feel like they're a bit more threatening, but the team fight of LFY with appropriate positioning is still incredibly, scary here. IG, though, team smoked and on the move. Afu's within the trees. They spotted out the smoke, and IG haven't been able to find an opening quite yet. They're waiting for the jump in. It's going to be Burning, going and instantly taking out the Crystal Maiden. The follow-up move is going to be there from the Bat Rider. He gets a lasso pullback onto the Bloodseeker and finishes him off. There's a nice Earth Splitter. Catches Burning right in the midst of the action. The Remnants are flying in from Super right into the middle of it. Can they get the finish onto this Bristleback? They'll finally bring him down, and Burning lives on. Hides under the Glimmer Cape and runs up north and away. Afu trying to hide within the tree, gets off the stomp, but the Bat Rider will be able to chase him down. One more right click. No, it missed! Halberd putting in its worth. They can't get a hold of him, and it looks like he will be able to make it out of this fight alive. Multiple barely surviving this skirmish. Even Q barely makes it back to the fountain.
Still got 3, lost 0.
Yep.
You're very pleased for your IG. You fought into the rupture. The back kind of makes up for the Sven getting ruptured, because Sven can't go to heroes, well, Bat Rider will bring them to the Sven, which is kind of what happened there in that fight. Lassoed 1, pulled him into the Burning Sven, and he was able to at least finish off a second target. He initially got a really nice jump onto the Crystal Maiden. I think it's fine for him to just kill a support off at the start so he doesn't get kited too badly.
Now he's looking to finish out that MKB, plus have the money for the buyback. IG could hit a nice big swell point for them. Nearby in the lane, Super's pushing it out a bit. Doesn't want to get jumped. Has that Lincolns to help out. And yeah, I've already talked about it, how he's going for the Mjolnir just to help keep lanes unpressured a bit. Keep farming, spreading out lots of damage.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting to see how these late game fights go down. You got level 20s, GPM coming out. I like to see, but Kunkans, yeah, they know. They're like, we've done our job. We're supporting. Time to get some GPM. Time to look after ourselves.
Amen. What is he looking to finish out? Okay, Guardian Greaves. Yeah, after that, then yeah, get some.
Ags Shaman with +4 wards. Feeling good.
Yeah, that is guaranteed structure damage. Or lots of money.
You win a fight, buildings will drop incredibly fast. Here goes the Roche, though, and it doesn't look like IG are currently wary of this, or...
Yeah, they're dancing around with some illusions in the mid lane here. Actually, they just used the lasso on the illusion plus a bow.
Roche secured 100%.
Baited.
LFY's going to be feeling good after that.
Oh, yeah. Now, this is easy, Roche. IG just going to take themselves back inside their own base. It's like shamed about it. No, well, let's go inside. They don't even go over to farm. They're just we got to wait to see where LFY could be coming from. While they get their Roche, Aegis is going to be handed over to Super, it looks like.
You have those 4/4 stuffs now to go with these ruptures that are flying around on some of these levels. So Ember got his level 25. Always a nice little power spike for him. 20% cooldown reduction. Fantastic on this hero.
Especially these items even too.
Yeah, he's kind of getting to that late game Ember state. Got a bit set back by the buyback, or the dieback in that previous fight.
All right, IG, what's your move? Smoking inside the base and moving out seems to be it. Can they find the jump onto LFY? If LFY get a good jump here, they could end this game out, moving into the base and taking racks, but it looks like IG have found a possible opening. Moving in, they get the quick takedown of the Bristleback and Crystal Maiden. Follow-up Shackle lockdown here, looking to go in for the Bloodseeker. Burning will help chop him down and secure a double kill. On the other end, it's going to be Afu, trapped on the front, goes for the Yules and the TP out, and he'll be fine. IG, though, valiant smoke, runs out from the base, takes a great fight, drops down 3, and now look at them parade down this middle lane.
That was a pretty tough execution. They had to chain stun that Bristle perfectly so we couldn't pop a cheese, and they did it while Sven went on different targets. I just assumed Sven was going to jump the Bristle as well, help burst him down, so he couldn't cheese, but Sven was like, nah, I trust my team, they'll chain stun him perfectly, and he went on different heroes. It was a perfect play coming out from IG.
Super is, however, pushing inside here. They had to use the glyph.
It's like he did his spells in the wrong order to break the Lincolns there, trying to push them in quick succession. I don't know. Maybe it was just perfect world lag and he did it correctly.
Q will be there, though, to try to fend it off a bit, but IG have taken a good fight. Have just, you know, they've secured themselves more time, it feels like. They haven't been able to really push down objectively to get too much more, but more time.
Yeah, both teams kind of gearing up for that super late game. Supports even getting farmed. They're all approaching that like 10k net worth mark. There's always concerns. The late games go, Sven can always get kited around. 5-second BKBs, you're up against Ruptures, Ember, who you're going to struggle to get on top of.
All right, it's now LFY's turn to smoke. Mid lane, there's OP. And there's the jump in. Chains down, follow up, Blood right. Meanwhile, the jump in from Bat Rider looking to get the lasso grab, but burning! Oh man, chunks down the 2 of them. Super is going to lose his Aegis just like that. They're looking to time out the boat, but Super is able to jump out to the other side. Blood right going to get drawn down as they're lashed in their spot. There's the Torrent, pushing the Bristle back. Here comes OP, dishing out the right-click damage, is able to take down the Pig. Looks to DDC, gets that one too. Monet and Super dancing around the fight on the outskirts. Monet trying to use the utility of that right click and that speed to help clean things up. Along with Super, they will help secure the remaining parts of this fight and secure the triple kill.
It's 2v4. That was insane damage output at the end by the 2 of them. Was that a Blood Raged Ember, I want to say even? Maybe he Blood Raged himself afterwards, but holy cow. Yeah, Ember did 7.3k damage. 2v4. At that point, Sven didn't have God Strength, didn't have his BKB, so it's kind of like a 2v4 where IG's not really at full power on those 4 heroes, but that fight looked really good for IG until that last 10 seconds.
Yeah, I kind of feel bad for questioning their damage now after I saw the back end of that fight.
Yeah.
And you were probably right with the Blood Right Super Mjolnir Sleight of Fists. Seems pretty ridiculous.
Cleaned them up there at the end. Once those BKBs are gone, he is happy Ember. And he's going to do damage up top. He's fishing for a pick, but Sven just hugging his fountain. Can this Orchid catch the Ember by surprise?
There's buybacks there for IG, but their death timers are already, you know, so low that you don't want to be forced into buying it out quite yet. The Bat will be the first to return. You need about 10 more seconds before the Shadow Shaman. And OP will still need about 15 seconds even after that. So pretty much racks guaranteed here for LFY.
Impressive showing coming from LFY. Very, I mean, this game is, at no point has anyone had a very sizable lead. We just came off like the biggest IG lead and they instantly lose it. up to 6,000, which for 48 minutes is nothing, and we're back to 0.
This game is actually super back and forth. It's kind of crazy.
Probably one of the closer, more exciting games we've had today.
Just a shame that the action is a bit slideshowy, but you know, it is what it is.
Life in the perfect world, Void.
Okay. LFY. Moving their approach through this mid lane. Looks like Super is going to continue to pressure it out through the bottom, but the jump has been made. Oh wait, I heard a jump. That was a lasso. Spent on something. I don't know what. I guess I missed it. Doesn't matter though, it's such a low cooldown it looks like. LFY are just going to shift things over and take down the second shrine.
Yep.
Anything in particular you seem like to be waiting for here?
For LFY, probably just another Roshan. They want to play it safe, slow and steady. For IG, they're maybe waiting to use their smoke around that Rosh to try and catch it by surprise, contest it. They haven't really had a great opportunity. They've got these Ag Serpent wards with the extra wards. Soon you may even have a refresher, but they haven't really felt like a dangerous threat to ever push base, so they're not getting good value out of this very farm Shadow Shaman. Sven now with a silence in the Orchid could be a dangerous threat to this Ember if Super isn't careful.
Yeah, Blink and Silence pretty much would be destruction here. Anyone Burning is able to get a hold of really has minimal chance of survival.
For IG, they want to play things fairly cautiously. They used SF's buyback money to complete a Satanic, so he wants to probably just farm up another buyback. Things still have room to grow. I mean, on both sides, really. Ember doesn't have buyback himself, so both teams are going to be kind of slow roll farming their next items, their buybacks, until there's a likely standoff around this Rosh pit. Whoa.
IG first on the scene as far as Rosh pit goes. As we see XXS able to move in and quickly snag up that arcane rune.
Level 25 Bloodseeker. This is actually a pretty big one in a game like this where BKB is already down to 5 seconds. You've got a 5-second cooldown Blood Right,
That's
6-second silence duration. So you theoretically perma-silence. Obviously you can BKB out. Lotus Orbs, Greaves.
There's so many things that like lock down and slow on their team. The chains, the frostbite, the goo, like there is stomp. There is so many ways that they're going to get stuck within those blood rights.
Yeah, you like BKB it off once. Well, there's another one coming 5 seconds later as your BKB wears off. So it's very tough to fight into this hero now at this stage of the game.
And he has plenty of mana to keep casting it too. So.
Yep. Nothing else. Other levels, 25s. Sven's, nothing crazy there, really. Oh, you got the Stormhammer cooldown. It's kind of cool. I mean, we talk about low cooldowns on some of these spells. He wants the short cooldown. It's a way to break Lincolns. He needs to keep heroes in place. That's fine. Not a crazy talent, but Kunkka's 20. Doesn't Kunkka have a sick torrent AoE?
He's got that gigantic torrent AoE.
So you really can make a big stack now, right? Is that what it's for?
It's like a it's like the pseudo Ravage almost at that point. I feel like as much as magic resistance is nice versus the Ember, it's pure damage. Torrent AoE is going to win you a game. Magic resistance will not win you a game.
Alright, dewarding from both fronts here. It's a very precious time as the clock continues to tick. Just a few more seconds before that Rosh is up. A very, very relevant interest to both teams.
Very methodical game.
Methodical. Can we say that a bit more?
It's just a very methodical game for both teams. Just one objective at a time, one little fight at a time. Nobody's really rushing here or
one pawn at a time.
I mean, they're trading blow for blow. And pieces have been full on both sides, but no clear leading force just yet. It does feel like LFY are slightly better positioned to secure this next Roshan.
Alright, and notice the Octarine core is now done on Super.
Okay.
Much more. That between the 20% cooldown reduction. Ridiculous spam.
Oh yeah, he think he had that a little while. He recently got a BKB. That's the new purchase for him.
So imagine being endlessly held in the Ember Spirits, as we see.
Oh, he does it. Manage to get off the BKB. The bat does after he gets the pull back. Or the bristle back. They shred him up with the benefit of that Silver Edge. Takes him out of the fight right away. And the rest of LFY just hightail it out of there.
That was after buying a Heart of Tarask. He still dies without getting cheese off. That's, I think, 3, maybe 4 deaths in a row where he gets chain stunned perfectly and doesn't get cheese off. Burning. Oh, this silence.
Oh my god, look at the lockdown. It's ridiculous. Could not get away from anything there, and OP's going to fall victim next, potentially. Yes, he will.
Crumbling.
Double kill. Falling apart here. IG getting spotted out from all fronts. Afu is fighting under the wards. It's a lot of damage. He gets the stomp off, tries to head to the other side, dishes out a new Astral. The Bat Rider wants to get a hold of him. XXS looking to chase, even pops the BKB for it, but he's not going to get it. You can't do it. And it's going to be dominating here for Monet. This game back the other direction once more, all LFY.
Oh, so he gets an Arcane Rune and everything. He's just actually destroying these fights again.
2.25 seconds sleight of fist.
Again, it's the Ember doing all the damage. He did 7.4k. The next house on his team was 2.5k. Super is the man to do late game damage.
Hell yeah. Did it on an Ember. Bring him down. No, might have just jinxed him. Alright. He is able to jump away. That gets a helpful Lotus. Buybacks are starting to come out, but oh, he's outside. He is going to die. It is going to be a dieback, it would appear. He is dead for 2 minutes. LFY running inside the baselines, looking to put IG to bed, and it looks like they may have done it. Both cores have now been put 6 feet under without a buyback. LGD forever young. Take down IG.
Well, late game Arcane Rune, not really that was the deciding factor. It's just the Ember as a hero with all these low cooldown spells, high mobility. Once those BKBs get down to 5 seconds, they couldn't do anything to stop Ember, just destroying them every fight. Blood Rage Ember was some scary shit right there.
It is.
It turns out ultimately they didn't need so much direct damage. It's really just holding them in place. I mean, if you imagine being Searing Chained and then you've got the blood right on top of it, you're done moving. Once your BKBs are down, you can't fight anymore. You entirely need your BKBs to be able to do anything in those fights. And I have to say it like this, but, you know, at some point you just get bogged down.